Okay, we're going to go over some of the factoring polynomial rules that you may have remembered from Algebra 2. Number one thing is to always look to factor out the GCF first. So look at the first type to go over, and they are differences of perfect squares. Our first one here is x squared minus 64. There's no GCF. If you remember from Algebra 1, difference of perfect squares, since this is x times x and this is 8 times 8 would give you the 64. We'll factor this into x plus 8 and x minus 8. 8 minus 8 would be 0 x's, and 8 times negative 8 is their negative 64. Over here I see that I can take out a GCF of 2n. Take out means divide out, put it out in front. When I do that, I get 9m squared minus n squared in this particular one, which this is a difference of perfect squares. Bring down my GCF, 2n, 3m minus n, and 3m plus n, to kind of remind you how you did those in Algebra 1. Next type, we're going to do our trinomials, meaning three things, where the lead coefficient equals 1, like it is in this one right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. We're going to think what numbers multiplied together give you negative 42, but combine or add to give you a negative 1. Those numbers would be negative 7 and positive 6. First, you might not look at this and think it should be under this category, but remember, first step is to always take out a GCF. In this case, it's 2. And I'm left with w squared plus 10w plus 25. And then when I think what numbers multiplied together give me 25 and add to give me 10, I think 5 and 5. This factors into w plus 5 and w plus 5, which is better written as 2 times w plus 5 squared. Okay, last one we're going to do here for this video are trinomials where the lead coefficient is not equal to 1. But again, you still look to take out a GCF. I actually wrote the problem twice. You can take out a 3. If I divide a 3 into each one, I get 10x squared minus 9x plus 2. I'll write that on both sides. I personally prefer guess and check method, which is how I'm going to do this side over here. How that works, if you remember, is what numbers multiplied together give you 10x squared. That'd be 5x and 2x. I could have also picked 10x and 1x. I'm hoping I picked the one that works. That's why this is called guessing and checking. Second thing I do is think of ways to get positive 2, keeping in mind that my middle term needs to be a negative 9. So what I think I'm going to try is, let me try a negative 2 and a negative 1. Because a negative times a negative give me a positive. Then I'm going to check to see if I can get negative 9. This outside gives me negative 5x. Inside gives me negative 4x. Put those together, I do get negative 9. That's guessing and checking, and I got lucky. I guessed the right one first, so it might look a lot easier, although I know some people that love this method. I'm going to keep the 3 over here so I don't forget it. But I'm going to take the 10 and slide it over to the 2 and multiply it. This is called the slide and divide method. So I'm going to rewrite it as x squared minus 9x plus 20. And then I'm going to factor this like I did above. What numbers multiplied together give you 20, but add to give you negative 9. It's x minus 4 and x minus 5. I did the slide, but now I need to divide. The number I took over was 10, so I'm going to divide by the 10, reduce these fractions. A lot of people forget to reduce. This one's 2/5, and this one's 1/2. And when I do that, if I end up with still a fraction here, I put whatever in the denominator in the front. 5x minus 2, shove this guy in the front too, 2x minus 1. You see, you still get the same answer. Again, don't forget to bring that GCF along for the ride. Same answer. This one looks a little longer, but I do know there's a number of people that like that method.